this is Richard Delatorre, the author for It's in the Book, Winning Ways. This is a special show. I have a former professional gambler here. His name is Cliff. Cliff, you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Cliff Nichols. I live here in Las Vegas, in and out of Vegas for about the last 20 years. And I'm a big fan of Richard's, and he invited me to come on the show, so I'm here.
Oh, okay. Okay, before we get into this, I went, the last time, my last horse racing episode was number 10. I was looking for something. I couldn't find it at the time. So the reason why I want to bring this up is because I told some of the audience that on a buyer's figure for the horses, that's the American buyer's figure. So the higher the number, 100, 102, 105, 106 is really, really high. That's probably one of the highest you can get. And horses from Great Britain, France, and Ireland, they do have one, but it's not like ours. So actually the form, this was what I was looking for. Now I found it, Aaron. See if you can get a close-up on this. It's called time form rating. And this was what I was looking for. Just like our buyer's figure, this is the same thing, time form rating. And that gives you somewhat of a figure like the buyer's. Let me move it. Let me move it myself. See, it's here circled. That is time form rating. So you'll know you could, just in case you're watching one of these horses from Britain, France, that way you could, that's close to the buyer's figure. And I want to get that in there because I don't want somebody to think that was there and I didn't know. I did know. I couldn't find it at the time. Richard, so anyway, Cliff here, as we continue from our last segment, Cliff, do you have any stories? You want to talk about roulette or slot machine? You want to talk about blackjack?
Roulette, for sure. That was one of my games I played, and but my only table game I played, as a matter of fact. And I'd met a gentleman who had some rules about roulette, and I believed him, and I started practicing those rules, and I started winning. And so I'm willing to talk about that if you'd like.
Okay, that's fine. You know, I didn't bring my stick, but anyway, let me use this pencil. Okay, what was your initial buy-in?
Well, I mean, it depends on how much what my finances were. I'd always have a budget, and I'll use that depending on what my budget was, depending on how much I bet my first bet. And his philosophy was, you wait till it's stacked up on one side. I'll play black or red only, and so I only win. I'd only double my money at best. So I would I'd wait till it's stacked up like all black, like just watch the wheel. And if it starts stacking up on black, maybe 4 or 5 blacks in a row, you'd start betting red. And the way he would do it. And listen, I've got caught with this thing a couple of times. Called it the Widowmaker. It's when it stays black for 20 spins.
Right.
And I'm betting red the whole time, but he would do it like this. He would. He taught me to, like you put $10 on. It says stacked up on black, you start betting red, and you put $10 down, and if it hits black again, you put now you double your money. So you put $20 down the next bet, then 40, until it finally hits on red, and then you'll come out as a winner every time. So I did that for a couple of years, and it worked out pretty good. And there were some other little rules I can't figure out what they were now. Remember what they were now specifically, but so the worst case scenario is that it would continue staying the same color that you're betting against. I mean,
right.
And so you go broke. If you think about it for a minute, 10, then 20, then 40, then 80,
right.
then 160, and then 320. Those were your bets. So you had five slots there, and you're already at $300. So you had to be careful how you bet.
And you won. You were up to 300.
Yeah, I could be. I could be that far. If I didn't win, yes, I would be.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Yeah.
When you were up to 300, did you walk away?
Depending on my budget. I mean, and I would maybe start out at $10 every time. If my budget was small, then I could start out with $5 and try to double my money, double like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But did I ever walk away when I won? Many times I have. Yeah. And have I not walked away when I've won? Yes. And there's a thing with gambling in Vegas. I don't know if it's anywhere else, but the spirit of this town is amazing, and you get caught up in the spirit of the game. It really is what it is. It's not just winning; it's beating.
Right, beating them.
Yeah, beating them. It's just competition. you know.
Right. Did you drink when you gambled?
There was times when I did drink. There's times when I did not. The times that I was successful, I did not drink.
Okay. Okay. Do you remember when you drank? Did you play better, looser, than sober?
Alcohol is. I think alcohol and gambling is. It puts more odds in the favor of the casino, but
Yeah, the reason.
yeah, I think so. I think it would because you got to be able to your computing machine up here in your brain has to work properly.
Right.
Alcohol is not a friend of that. So
Yeah. The reason why I asked that is because I actually do a lot better when I'm drinking.
wow.
A lot better. Because it's the way I bet and not necessarily the amount. The reason why I say that is because like we were talking earlier before we came on the air, and I told Cliff I used to go to the Stardust. That was my home. Well, I knew all the dealers there and the waitress. I just waved to her. She bring me a double white Russian. She already knew who I was, and so. When I used to walk up to the table, they knew once I got. Some people say it's you got their money. No, once you win it, it's yours. You're playing with your money. You can walk away go cash it in. Now it's yours. It's not theirs. You won it. You're playing with the money you won, even if it's pure profit. It's still your money. You won it. So they knew the boxmen, the floor guys. They knew me. They knew once I start winning and I start getting some real money, some people, it's a lot of money. I've been up sometimes with $40 or $100 way back then. I'd be up $1,200, $1,500, $18,000, $2,000. And guess what? I wasn't betting my initial buy-in. My initial bets was $12.6, $12.8, 10 on the pass line and maybe 10 or 20 odds. No, I could be betting quarters and then I would go to black. And then they would, everybody's still playing $5 away, unless a couple of guys came on that had money, but they knew it, and they used to kind of always did. You see them down that little logging in, because they're logging what they're doing is they're logging they're rating your play.
Okay.
And they have to. You're supposed to get rating and play for at least 4 hours, and if the minimum's $25, you got to play $25. But I do play $25 after I get my initial bet, and then I go to 30s. I can go to 60 and a 6 and 8. Then I'm at 120. Then before you know, I got all black across the board. I'm buying the 4 and 10. I'm playing $100 hard forward. I got maybe 100 and 200 in the back. And I walked out of the Stardust back then. Sometimes with maybe 4,000, 6,000. I didn't want to go over taxes, because once you go over 10,000 on those table games, you got to pay taxes. And I did talk about my other episode how not to do that. And it's perfectly legal. It's just the casinos cannot tell you. But on the drinking part, I played a lot better. Even I guess I can say that everybody knows. Even when I was counting cards, I can still. As long as you practice.
As long as you didn't get drunk, right?
Yeah, and then actually it worked better for me, because I was like, what? and I was counting all you could hear the computer, and I was counting all the cards, and it's just something that I got really good at, and it doesn't matter drinking or not, I can do it. But what you're saying I understand what you're saying about roulette. I told this story on I think it was episode 5 on roulette. Yeah, all these numbers, 35 to 1. Yeah, everybody wants to win that. 35 to 1. Some of the mistakes people make is they bet more and they're going to win, and
right.
That's a mistake. If you bet dollars or $5, doesn't matter the denomination. You can't go over 35. Once you go over 35, if you go 36 bets, straight up bets or split bets, you won, but you lost.
Right.
So you can't go over 35. I can show you all kinds of things to do. You have to spend a little bit of money, but the ratio's in your favor. And that's the key, putting the ratios
right.
in your favor and not the casinos. Like one of mine, you don't want, it's called cutting the pie. And you don't want 11, 12, 23, 24, and 29, 30. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers. And you're covering all the other numbers, even the 2 zeros. by playing $30. You'll probably win $6, but you're chancing 30. But the ratio is in your favor to win.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I was at the D last time I was here, and I looked up at the like you were saying. There was, I think it was all red. I think it was red. And I said, let me take a picture. And the lady goes, you can't do that. I said, you can see it here.
Nice,
Aaron?
nice.
Can you see that? This was at the D, and I took a picture of this.
Yeah, I'd jump all over that.
It was all black. Well, you can see a
Yep.
lot of it black.
Yep.
And I took a picture of this because I haven't seen that in a while. And I looked at the numbers, and I was going, yes, 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 yes. All those numbers, even the one red, on the method I show you, it's not a system, it's a method of mathematics.
Right.
All of them that I show you, if you would have done the $30 that play, you would have won $6. What was, how many numbers was that? 10. You would have won $60. But you're only chancing 30, and you start over 30. You would have won $60 because the ratio is on your favor to win that bet.
Yep.
But you're chancing $30 to do it. Now I showed this guy this, and he said, "Well, I want to bet 100." I said, "Well, you can do it if you have the capital. You can do that." So, but you know, it's up to you. You want to quit. You chance that, and then you win $600, and it's up to you to quit.
Yep.
But yeah, I know what you're saying. I've seen countless guys that try to win at this. I met one guy. He showed me how to do this, and I looked at him. I go, eh. He was chancing a lot of money. I think it was $1,300 a shot.
Wow.
But the way he did it, I could see. Yes, you could win. It might be a little bit in his favor, not too much. But he just so happened to get ahead before he took any losses.
Right.
And then the casino they were watching him, of course. But yeah, I saw it. But what happens if you lose the first 2-3 times?
I know.
You know, $1,300. Who's got nobody has that money anyway. I mean, they do, but the average person in Las Vegas, the average person comes with only $600. That's usually their bankroll.
Right.
So
Us locals who gamble, yeah.
yeah. So did you do anything else with roulette besides that?
That's all I played. That's
Yeah.
how I played it. Yep.
Yeah.
Did he would the other rules were that he told me was if they change the dealer, you stop. You got to reassess. So a lot of times they would change the dealer on me. So
Yeah.
you know, he said change dealer, walk away, just reset.
Yeah.
The other
Well.
one was if they see us. I forget what. If you win, you walk away from the table.
Yeah.
You walk away from that table. Go find another reset.
Right.
So every time you win, you reset. And,
Yeah.
So it got pretty expensive, but a lot of times I won money too. And it was
Yeah.
you know, it was it's an adrenaline game, really. I mean,
Right. But even if a person doesn't have a system or a method, some people just first time luck, and that's one of the worst things for a person that's never played before. I have a friend that I brought him to the horse races. He won the first day, and he went back the next day. He won that, and the third day he won. He said he was going to quit his job. I said,
Wow.
Roger, don't do it. I mentioned your name, Roger. Yeah, and I told him, Roger, don't do it. You just dumb luck. That happens to a lot of newbies. And he goes, oh, you're just jealous because I'm better than you. He went back the next day and he said he couldn't win for nothing. And he said,
Yep.
good thing I didn't quit. But what you're saying about okay, I worked for the MGM Corporation. I'm a former dealer.
Okay.
I worked there a year. The reason why I went back, and I told him on one of my episodes, my back got so bad that I had to quit. But it's a lot better now. And then I have I'm not going to mention his name, as a person I know who deal roulette at. This is really good information, people. Not very many people are going to talk about this. He used to work at the High Rollers and I'm not going to mention the casino. So anyway, he told me that he could put that ball just about where he wants it, have enough experience and spins and time down. And I said, oh, really? So then when I became a dealer and I started dealing roulette, I used to practice where to put the ball, how to do it. And I'm not going to really go into detail, but yeah, it's changing dealers has nothing to do with it. Changing the ball, yes, that does have something to do with it because of the ball's bigger, smaller, different rotation. But then, like I said, in I think it was episode 1 or 2, once a dealer starts practicing roulette, and usually after a while, without thinking about it, they spin the wheel at the same, almost identical same pace because they get used to it. There's
Right.
none of, you can't really flick it because the ball falls in, the ball will take off.
That's right. Yeah.
That's why you can't spin it. So the dealers usually get it to the same rotation all the time. If they're using the same ball, that's why you see sometimes they're oh, look at 33 came up 3 times. And then, which I did tell, I think I stories in the book on roulette, and the floor person came over and whispered in the guy's ear, and then he switched balls. But
wow.
but I end up winning anyway.
I would have collected my money right then.
Yeah. Well, it's up to you. There's other things that if somebody, I don't know, I know you're not supposed to talk about this. The casino don't like it, but there's a lot of things that the customers come in. They're not cheating. That's the first thing I want to tell you. They're not cheating. It's the idea of it's human error or the practice of a person spinning the ball, and they get into a rhythm and they have to snap out of that rhythm. I don't care if they change dealers. The only thing I do tell you in the one of my I think it's the first episode is when like you walk up and you see 8 black or the reverse 8 red. Oh, it's got to be black or red next. You need to ask them. Excuse me, how long you been here? Did you just come off a break?
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, because that might not be his spins.
That's right. Yep.
So that's the other thing. I tell all that stuff to people because I experienced all that. The whole idea is to win.
Exactly. Yep.
That's what you want, is to win. So did you do anything else? Oh, by the way.
I did. I played the first tier, like the first, second, third. I'd play those. Yeah, occasionally, because that's you only win. You'll win. Is it it's 2-1, right?
2-1.
Yeah. And so I would do that occasionally, but I pretty much stuck with what I would try to even the odd.
Right.
But I always go back to what I felt most comfortable with. I started doing roulette. It was the red or black only.
Right.
And by the way, I want to back up what you said. You know, the biggest mistakes I've made trying to gamble and win money is get impatient and start betting big.
Right.
And there's no reason to.
No.
If you can't be patient and take your time and make the money like a job,
Right.
then you're gonna get broke quick. I'll put it to you that way.
Yeah, it's using money management.
Yeah.
And a lot of people they play blackjack and they might put $5 and $5. They get all pissed off. They lost 6, 7 in a row, and they grab a stack and they go whack, and then they lose that. It's not proper money management. The other thing is, these are not 50-50.
No, they're not. No.
Yeah,
They're
47.37.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
Because of O's and double O's. Yeah.
Right, because if you add 47.37
Right.
twice, and then that's
exactly right,
5.26,
yep.
that's 100%.
Yep.
But that's what that's exactly what you're trying to do. A lot of people don't know this bet. I do tell people in my book and the thing, this is actually, forget about the denomination. That's a bet. 2 zeros and a street bet that pays 6-1. You can actually make that bet. A lot of people don't even know you can make that bet.
Wow, I didn't know. I had no idea.
Yeah. So, but this actually, the first and second 12 in my 5th episode, I tell you that I was at the crap table. I just came from Circa, and I was up 3,500. I started with 500.
Wow,
3,500, and so I got down to, I think it was 29, and I cashed out because boom, 777. I said, that's it, I'm gone. So I just leave, and I came to the sister property, the gate, and I lost $800 real fast because I was drinking, yes, but I said I'm so far up right now, and I was up the other 2 weeks I came. So I lost $800 at the crap table. So I went to the roulette and I played first and second 12, 50 and 50. I won the first 4.
Oh, nice.
And then I lost 1. Then I won the next couple, and then I hit the 2 zeros and I quit. I won $800. I did in 20 minutes. The $800 I lost at the crap table, I won it back at the roulette in 20 minutes.
You can win it quick there on roulette for sure.
Yeah. But what I'm doing is this is not a system, it's a method of mathematics.
There you go.
That means that you see it's 1 and 12, you got 13, 24. That's 24 numbers for you and the casino only has 14. There's 12 in those two. So the ratios are in your favor to win. I don't care how much it pays. You need to put the ratios in your favor to win.
Exactly.
And then once you do that, in the long run, you'll come out more winning than a lot of people losing. Because I tell some people, play maybe here and maybe $5 here, and because it's five, a lot of tables are 5 in, 5 out.
Right.
So the casino makes you put, say, $5. So you start betting split bets, corner bets, whatever you want to bet, and then hedge bet against that. I don't care. I don't like this because I was on episode 2 with Gypsy.
Okay.
I don't like playing these two because that's half, and this is the other half. But they're all 47.37. But this one, and this one, they're all. You can see they're all mixed.
Exactly.
So if a dealer's hitting one side, you don't have to worry about it. So it doesn't matter what side because the ratios and percentages are all the same. They're all, you got 18 black and 18 red, 18 odd and 18 even. So you're playing, what you're doing is you're kind of breaking it down, using it mathematically, and then using money management. And then now you're hedge betting too. So you're using all three.
Okay.
And if you practice that and stay with that, you have to stay with that. Because in California, I don't do parties. I haven't done parties because of COVID. We're going to probably be picking up stuff up here after September. But I show people this, the first, second, third, 12 in the column because the ratio and the percentages are the same. So it doesn't matter. This here is...
Exactly. I see that now, yep.
It's all the same as this. It depends how you want to play it.
Okay.
And they're making all kinds of money, right? They must play money, so they're just going crazy. And they're, oh, look at all. You know what they do? When they start having sacks, oh, let me play... They start plopping all back what they were doing, and then I say, "Have you noticed something? You're almost broke. They're not disciplined. They don't want to. They could see they're winning, but they want to go back to their old ways. So I don't know. It's up to a person the way they want to play. But everything I do, I'm using ratios. I'm using the percentages. I'm using it mathematically. Is the way I play everything.
Nice. Yeah.
So, is there any other bet that you made? Did you ever play the zeros? Because
No,
I think it's coming up.
I've never played numbers. Never have I played numbers. To me, it was just too complicated. The thought that it was at 34, 35 to 1, the chances of me winning a number be wasting my money. That's the way I looked at it. Mm-hmm. And at least I had a near 50% chance of winning with black or red. And that's why I stuck with that. And you had to have luck with you as well. I mean, it's like gambling. If anytime the odds are against you, there has to be a degree of luck, and there's also could be a degree of bad luck as well. I mean, but if this cards are stacked against you, you have to have some luck in there as well. So,
Yeah, by you playing red or black, you could also play odd and even because the ratio and percentage is exactly the same.
Yep,
it doesn't matter. But people just like, oh, my favorite color is red. So I would play red, and my favorite number is 3. It just happens to be red, but that's been my favorite number. But I have played that. And in my book, I tell you what happened when I bet 17. That was a story in itself.
The reason I played red or black is because I could easily spot that on the board. I wouldn't stay there and gamble. If I won, I'd walk away. Mm-hmm. But once I'm in the game and I'm betting the odd number, so it's stacked up black, for example, I'm betting red. I'm only there to bet red. I'm not there to after I win, I'd leave. I cash out and leave. Leave a tip and cash out and leave. Walk away, and then I watch the table reset, and then I'll go back and start betting again if I see something I like.
Yeah, a lot of people. I'm going to keep saying this.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem with the newbies. I feel sorry for the newbies if they start winning, but the people have been playing a long time. Walk away. They don't know how to walk away. That's
right,
the
yeah.
problem. And that's why they lose. I was one of them myself at one time.
Yep.
But then when like I told that story, I walked out of the horse races. One time, and I went, how come I had $400? How can I lost that $400? And then I came back the next week because I used to make $700 a week, and almost everything I had was paid off except for the house. So I would go back with another $400, and I lost that week. And I said before I went in there, I says, I'm not going to lose this money. I'm going to play simple bets and this, that. I came out of there and I lost, and I says, you know what? I got to figure something out. I got to figure out why I'm losing. What am I doing wrong? So I went through the whole horse racing. What are the good bets, bad bets? My handicapping changed a little bit better, and I started winning here and there. But you know what happened? I left. I had money in my pocket. I said, no, you know what? It's called a card. All the horses that day is a card for all the races. I said, you know what? There's the other 3 races in the card. You know what? They'll look good. I'm not going to take that. I'm leaving. And that's how I started being disciplined. Discipline for you? You said you did walk away.
Yeah, well, I had bills to pay, I had rent to pay. I had bills, and I probably would go into the casino with an idea of what I needed to win. So if I needed, like for example, I've got to have $300 this weekend, whatever, to pay that bill on Monday. That was my goal, and so if I ever got there, I'd definitely walk away then for sure. But so the rule was for me, just if I won, I'd walk away from the table, and then I'd wait till it reset the way I liked it, and then I'd go in and bet until I hit. And I got caught a few times. I mean, I got caught where I spit. I mean, we've all been there, right? I never felt the low as low. I never understood why people would jump off the top of buildings. I have a good friend of mine worked at the Stratosphere, and he's a maintenance guy. He's been there for like 20-something years, and he was there when a couple of guys jumped off the top of the Stratosphere, right? And I think, well, I would never do that. I would never commit suicide like that. How could somebody do that? Well, one day when I was at Wynn, I spent, and I was playing sluts, and I was playing what do you call it? I can't. No, I had a microphone in front of me. I'm froze up, but I was playing a deck of cards.
Blackjack or baccarat, mini bac?
No, it was a slot machine. Yeah, thank you very much. Video poker. I appreciate that, Aaron.
One of the best things, the best thing to play actually, if you're ever going to play slot machine, is video poker.
Well, I went in there and I won, and I didn't leave. And I didn't. Matter of fact, when I finally walked out of the casino, it was you're getting daylight, right? I'm like, I have a penny in my pocket. I've got to go home, and I've got to not deal with the mess I got myself into that day.
Right.
And I think you have to. And that was a super low I'd felt, probably one of the deepest lows I've ever felt in my entire life. And then I understood. I said, now I understand how those guys felt, because I had the money to pay my bill, and I spent it anyway. And a huge mistake. And so I never did that again.
I know all about that. Trust me, trial and error and years of experience. You have to break out of that. If you're not, that's something I would tell people. You need to quit. Period. Never play again. If you can't do that,
that's right.
Your life is never going to be normal.
Yeah.
Okay. What we're going to do here, we're going to take a break, Aaron. And I have another project I'm working on. Aaron here was the editor on that. It's my trader. It's called 360. It's a skateboard. One of the full turns. It's a term. Anyway, So let's go ahead and play that. And that's Aaron here. Put the music to that.
Skateboarders. We tried, boss. Those skateboarders are tricky.
We're back. Yeah, so if anybody's interested, I'm looking for funding. You can leave the number here with Aaron. You see the number there on the screen? Is it Aaron? Producer, co-producer, executive producer. You can be a associated producer. It doesn't matter. You can put, it's 20, 100,000, whatever. You get 10 people, 100,000. That's $1 million. But it's that's what we're looking for. Okay, let's get back to gambling. And Cliff here, do you have? So you said you played slot machines.
I did.
Okay, what did you play?
Well, we had I had a group of people that believed the way I did, and and so they would. I was taught how to play slot machines and win, and a lot of the newer machines. I'll tell you this now: that a lot of the newer machines that have come out now, I have no idea how to play them. But these were older machines, and a lot of them were mechanical machines, and before they went all pure computerized, and we'd focus on those, and we would just, it was just a matter of realizing, because they would hit on cycles. I mean, they would come in cycles. You'd hit a bonus on cycles, and it's a matter of trying to get your timing down with, or just to be able to understand how the cycle would flow. If there was a way to do that, I'm not sure. Really.
What year was that?
This was about close to 10 years ago. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because a lot of the slot machines,
Yep.
actually, I think they had some here in Las Vegas. They're called pool cards, and they're already set up. These pool cards, they would put them in, and the machine would pay and take off that pool card. Well, a lot of the casinos, the Indian casinos, they used to have those, and now they don't. Now they have the same machines as Vegas.
Yeah, because they can, with the computerized slot machine, they can set the win, the lose, how they want. They need to make 80%, or I think I think they take way more than that. I think it's like 90% or whatever it is. They can set that so that at the end of the day, they're going to hit their numbers every single day. I mean, unless they pay out a gigantic hit or whatever, but. This is my belief, and I read some documentation on that when they first changed over. Was it 2002 or 3 or whatever it was? They changed the big casinos, MGM and Caesars went all computerized pretty much, and with their machines there. And so it said they can configure it however they want. They can, I know that people win big in those. I read it in the paper all the time. I see it on TV. You go in there, you put $2 in, and you won $400,000 or whatever it is. That's just pure luck. I mean.
Yeah, those are progressive.
Yeah, exactly. I had to find a way to survive and live. So we would we'd play certain machines that were older, and we'd get lucky a lot. So that's how we did it, and we'd do it every single day, all day long.
Yeah, those back then, the machines, now they're all digital. There's the digital chip. There's a motherboard.
Right.
And then you got the random generator. That random generator is running 24/7. You could be standing next to somebody talking, and the machine could be hitting a jackpot. You don't know because you weren't playing it. Those sequences are always running.
That's right.
And if you pull that lever or push that button at that time, and that machine, those sequence are about to hit. If you're playing at that time and those reels stop at that sequence, you would win. So they're running 24/7. It's not when you start. They're running 24/7. And the other thing about those slot machines, and I tell you, I can't remember what episode that was. Might have been on the show when I was at. I did it twice when I was on Gypsy and Aaron Phillips' Time to Vegas, and as one of my other shows, I might have been 2 or 3. But anyway. It says 97 paid back or 99. That's the life of the machine. That doesn't mean when you're sitting there. That's what it means. So those machines could be 20 years, but all the payouts they're already preset. The gaming control board has the chip, and the same chip is in that machine. They're identical. If you get a machine that you think something's wrong or it should have paid out, it got stuck. Maybe it got stuck and it looked like you won, and they came and reset it and say, hey, I was supposed to get paid. No. Yes, you can get the machine has a number there. You can get that number. You look at the time and the name of that machine, and you can contact a gaming control board. They'll come out and they'll check that machine, and if it's called a gaff. Wow. If something's wrong with that machine and it's a gaff, then somebody messed with that machine. and they'll pay you that. But it's up to a person that wants to do that. You can do that on anything: slot machines, table games. You can actually file. It's called a rights act
Wow.
at the table, and a person or the boxman or even the floor guy. You can do these things, but a lot of people don't know this. I like knowing all this stuff because I like knowing it. I love being around horses, the horse racing, the crap table, blackjack, three-card poker, even poker. I just like I love it. But I'm very careful what I do. Very careful that I don't go nuts like I used to 25 years ago. It's a process.
Yeah.
What were your tricks? Is it for me or Cliff? Cliff?
Well, the trick that we would do is we'd always bet low, and you'd bet low and play the machine for a while, maybe 30 minutes or whatever. You kind of get the flow of how the cycle, how the rhythm of the machine is, and then when you start understanding that, and if you did it for a long time, you pick up on it right away, and you need to increase your bet, and then you start increasing your bet when you thought that the machine would start to hit, and based on what your introduction time would be, what you gathered, that information you gathered in that introduction time, and so that'd work a lot. Those machines were like clockwork. They would cycle up, they'd start winning, and then they'd cycle down into losing, and so you just had to be able to sense that or understand that, and go from there.
Yeah. What I heard,
Yeah.
this is way back. This doesn't work like that no more. But they had, I think there was 3 separate chips. The first chip would start, and it would kind of take pay,
Mm-hmm.
and then when it hit the middle chip, which didn't last long, it would pay, and then it'd go back to the last chip, and that chip would do the same thing, but a lot of it would take. And then it would start all over the sequence. That's why a lot of people say, "Well, how long has he been there?" And they're waiting. Well, they just thought because a hopper had nothing to do with it. When the hopper got heavy and it dumped, it had nothing to do with that.
Okay.
But that's the way it used to be. The 3 chips, separate chips. Now it's all by random generator and the motherboard and that chip.
That's right. Yep.
So it's the other thing about slot machines, a lot of people don't know. You can go on, I think it's AmericanGaming.com. You can go on there and read about. I had it on one of my shows. Some of the casinos, not all of them, but some of the casinos, the big ones, they have a computer, and they can actually adjust the payout and on the machine. But by law, they can't do it while you're sitting there. You gotta get off the machine. They can adjust it if they want, but that's a very expensive setup. So a lot of them don't have it. I think I know a casino. I'm not going to say who. It's an Indian casino. I think they have that.
I was always suspicious of that, and it also, the more you bet, the less likely you're going to win the bonus as well. I mean, you think you're going to, if you start to open your bet, and you say, well, it goes up to, if you start at $1, maybe the max bet is $6, and you're in a rhythm, and it doesn't mean you're going to hit max bet. I mean, because I think the odds are different for max bet.
Yeah, you should always play max bet. You shouldn't be playing. You
Well,
always bet max bet. Always.
Well, I tried that as well, and I think, if you're gonna, that to me it was more like the roulette thing where I'd start gambling too much money, and like I said, I had a budget, so I would I'd follow the routine that I did, and then I would up it, and then I'd start hitting on max bet, and but some machines are set up differently, like you said, they're not all set the same payout ratio, and you get on a bad machine, you'll realize it in your discovery time, and you find a different machine.
Yeah. What? I think I can't remember which one. It might have been 3. Episode 3. The reels. If it's a 3-reel machine or 4 or 5, don't matter. But anyway, say the 3-reel. Say it's all 7s, and then you look behind you. There's a 3-reel machine on diamonds. It doesn't matter. That you can take that chip out and put it in that machine, and it works the same. What you see there, those 7s, those diamonds, whatever they 5 diapers, it doesn't matter. That's just a picture. The reels is actually stopping in that sequence. It doesn't matter what picture they got there. So as long as that chip, they can take that chip out and put it on the only on 3-reel, 4-reel. That's the way it's got to work. But a lot of people don't know that That's the way those slot machines work, because they do that on. I think it was the game Defender. I remember. You remember that with the karate?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that chip, you can take that chip out and put it in other games. They have the same sequence of structure.
Right.
It works the same. That's because it's just a chip.
Right. Exactly.
And what you're looking at is just a picture. That's all you're looking at. They can change the picture.
Yeah. The inside of the actual slot machine is, like you said earlier, is a motherboard like on a regular computer. I mean, they boot these things up like a Windows system. A lot of them have Windows on there, and they'll just boot them up like your home PC, but they'll be running the gambling software. And so all you see is a display of the software, and you open up inside, it's a big empty cavity. You think there's a lot of mechanical stuff in there. There used to be, but not anymore. It's
Right.
It's just a vacant a little thing with a computer in there and a money reader,
Right. They can actually make those slot machines a lot smaller, but they won't because
No.
it looks better when you're playing. And then I used to crack me up because these people would say, "No, I don't want to play that slot machine. I want to play the big one outside. It's as big as your house. I want to play that because we're going to win big because it's big." That has nothing to do with it. It's the same chip. But yeah. So on Roulette, is there anything else you had on Roulette you played or?
Not really. Like I said, I stuck to what I do and what I felt like worked for me. Like I said, I ventured into off the black and red to playing even the odds, the first or second or third tier, and that's pretty much all I ever gambled. And but 90% of all the gambling I did on Roulette was black or red.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people do. Some of my parties, some of the guys come, somebody's, 50-50. It's not 50-50, and I would tell them that. It says, yes, it is. No, it's not. So I'd explain to them about the 2 zeros, and they go, well, it's still close to 50-50. I says, well, that's up to you, but even though you're playing 50-50, you're playing, there's 18, you got 18, the casino's 20. It's close, but it doesn't matter, like you said. Like, you're playing... there's 8 black came up, and if you were playing red, you lost 8 times. If you're stubborn, you don't want to go here. But there's a way to get that money when you're losing here. So if you have, like I said, in the field bet and craps, you can do the same thing. If you lose 5, you have to replace the 5 you lost, only the 5. And then if you lose that, you got to replace it with 10. And if you lose a 10, you got to replace it with 10, not 20. And then you keep going, and you'll eventually get your money back. But you have to have a bankroll. And
You do.
And then what you do, you play it again, and then you win. You can walk away with $5. But somebody might be playing 25. They might be using hundreds.
That's
So-
exactly right. Yeah, that required a lot of bankroll, and even with a lot of the minimum bet was $5. A lot of the casinos here, and so you walk in with your $5, and so if you lost, I mean, like I said, I wouldn't even approach a table unless it was stacked up on one side. No matter what, I would not start a bet on a table that was hitting red or black. It had to be 5 or more, or at least 5 anyway. And then I'd start betting the opposite color, and then I'd bet to 5. I'd lose. I'd bet 10, and I'd bet 20 if I kept losing. Eventually, if you think about it, I mean, eventually it has to hit the opposite color, no
Right.
matter what. If you start betting it, it depends on how much money you have in your pocket. Depends on how long you're going to stay there. If that's why we call it a widowmaker. When it gets up to around 10 or 13 or 15 blacks in a row, and you're betting red, you're probably broke before you get way down there. I mean, you can just imagine.
This is what I don't like. A lot of the Indian casinos, they're smart. They're
Limits, caps, right?
Yep, they cap it. It's $500. No,
Yep.
you're playing craps. $500.
Right.
You got to be kidding me. You could lose that very easily.
Yep.
So I don't know. I just when I play roulette, it's funny because I walk by the roulette wheel a lot. I don't even play, but even though I do know I can put the ratios in my favor, it's just a game that to me is not it's not exciting. But and then I show you on one of my episodes, and it's in the book too. It's having fun with street bets. So you bet 11 bets, even the zeros inside. So you would bet them here. I would bet here. You can bet this one, maybe not this one, because of the 29 and 30, 23, 24, 11, 12. But you have to bet these two, and you'll see in the book where I show you why you don't bet these. It's called cutting the pie, and these are the negatives in the pie.
Okay.
So you stay away from those, but you bet you chance. Let's go dollars. You chance $11. You're probably going to win, but you know what you're going to win? $1. But you're chancing
It's a safe
$11.
bet.
But if somebody wants to bet 1100, they're probably going to win $100 more than likely. But what you'll see, because the ratio's in your favor, you're covering every number except for 3, 4. On street bet and 29, 30, 23, 24, 11, and 12. You're not covering. You're covering everything else.
Wow.
So, but the ratios are in your favor. So 30 for you and only 8 for the casino. So you can see the ratios in your favor. You're going to win $1, but that's just to sit there like we're doing now. Say we're tired of walking around. We're having drinks and just screwing around, just playing 11 bucks. You're probably going to win more than you probably win. Who knows? You might win the first 5, 6, 7 times.
Right. Yeah.
But it's not the idea to make money. It's the idea for the action and the free drinks. So,
Yep.
but so you didn't do. So that's all you played. You
It
didn't
really
play,
is. Yeah.
You didn't play any straight up numbers.
Nope. Never did.
Never did. That's interesting. A lot.
I've had people, my coworkers that would play numbers and they would hit. I mean, I had a friend of mine who put $1,000 over at Planet Hollywood. He put $1,000 on a number and he hit. I mean, he got $35,000, and he really hit it. So I mean, he walked back with all his money. He took off the rest of the day. I was like, good for you, guy. And I would never have the guts to bet that kind of money on a number. But so I left that alone because I couldn't see it.
Right.
I couldn't see. I could see the red or black. It was displayed right there when you walk up. I mean, so I would try to go the safe bet. If they were in the hole deep on the blacks, I know the black colored. I know that I could bet red. I know they'd eventually have to hit the red, no matter what.
Yeah.
It probably will happen within the next 5 spins. So it was a safer bet for me. I think I'm not sure what the odds are. I'm not sure what the statistics are for the each consecutive color that's hit.
Mm-hmm.
Like one color, like a black. What are the odds are that it's going to hit the red eventually? I mean, there's a number there. I'm not sure what it is, but eventually it has to hit.
Yeah, but what I do is I go by the ratios and the percentages, because the ratios you already know.
Yeah, 47.5. Yeah.
Well, and then the that's the percentage, and the ratio would be 18 for you and 20 for the casino, because you don't want any black or the 2 zeros. So eventually red is going to come up. But somebody like you said that's thrown like 5. Cheapers. I think one time I saw I think it was 17, 18 black.
I know. Widowmaker all the way.
And I'm looking at the guy, and I'm watching him spin it, and I'm watching the way he flicking the ball, or if he's staring at the
Really?
wheel. I don't know if you saw that episode.
No, I gotta watch that one for sure. Yeah.
That's the key. You got to watch the dealer if he's spinning the wheel and is staring at the wheel. If he's staring at the wheel, he's trying to hit something.
Okay.
Yeah, I have that story in the book, and I told that story here. Now, I'm going to say the dealer can hit a number pretty close. Hey, I was at a table. I'm telling you, it's...
On a pure skill basis,
That's
right?
why I
Yeah.
won this bet.
Yeah.
That story's in my book. Well, I don't know if I think I told part of that story, but I mean, casinos are going to go, you need to call that in and cut that show out. That's an unsaid thing here in Vegas. Let me see. So you never, let's see, so you played that and you played slots. Did you play anything else?
That was it. That's all I played. That's all I played.
You never played video poker?
Well, I did play video poker. I mean, to me, it's a slot machine, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, no, video poker, if anybody
The best
ever,
odds, right? Yeah.
because you could change your bet.
Right.
I was showing a friend of mine, we came here, and he doesn't know how to play poker. And I said, let me show you, I'm going to play video poker. And I was a quarter machine. And I says, just for fun, I'm going to show you. I put it in. I put, okay, look at here. I got, I think it was, I had a 10, a jack, and I think an ace. They were all spades. And I said, okay, now what you do is you hold the spades. A lot of people wouldn't even think about a royal flush. They would just think holding the spades to hit 2 more, and you'll hit it. And I was also playing deuces. It was deuces wild, which I love deuces wild. And I pushed it, and I almost hit it showing him. I got the king, and I think I didn't hit the queen. I had the king of spades, and I hit, it was something else. I looked at him, I go, holy crap, I almost hit it just showing you. Yeah, it's a royal flush. I have a friend His name is Dave. I know you're probably listening. His stepdad. Oh my God, he showed me years ago how to play Deuces Wild, because even though you're playing Deuces Wild and it's poker, there's a way to actually play that. What I just told you. A lot of people say, especially if it's Deuces Wild and you're playing poker, and there's like somebody go, oh look at, I got 2 jacks and 2 9s, and they would save those and say maybe I'll hit a full boat. No, you don't do that, because you're not going to make that. The odds of you hitting that are way out. I had them here, but so you don't do that, because you're looking. The key is when you play Deuces Wild, you're playing wild. That's the whole idea of playing Deuces. You try to hit the wilds, and
Right.
and so you get rid of. Just pick the 2 you want to get rid of.
Right.
Get rid of those, because you might hit 3 of a kind. You
Right.
might hit 4 of a kind. You might hit 5 of a kind. You might hit the other 3 wilds. So that's how you play that. A lot of people want to hit I've tried it.
I did exactly the way you're talking about now. That's the way I did it. I played the same exact way.
Yeah.
I would bet on getting the wilds.
Yeah.
You could get 4 of a kind. You get 5 of a kind. You know.
Yeah, I just hit that. I showed it to I showed it to Aaron. It was on my phone. A lot of stuff I just show Aaron and my buddy Dave and a couple other people, and I said, "Look at, I hit it." And I erased them, but I don't know if I still have them on my phone. But I was at a Circa, and I was playing. And I kept. I was playing Deuces Wild, and I hit a straight flush. But it was I can't remember what it was, but it wasn't the big one. But I still got 175 quarters, and then when I went back, I played Keno, and I show people how to play Keno, and I think that's the way people should play it. I showed Aaron. I said, look at Aaron, 3 numbers. I hit it 5 times with the same 3 numbers. I was probably there. Had to be a half hour.
Seriously.
Yeah, if you play that, it's called. I think it's called the bullseye round. Some casinos have that. If you actually hit your numbers, the last number is one of your numbers. It doubles it. Whatever it pays, it
Okay.
doubles it. I've hit that before. I think Caveman Keno has that. But
Yeah.
anything you play progressive,
Right.
it's harder to hit. Now, I always play the regular. I don't. It's hard even to beat a machine. So why do I want to play a progressive, and it's harder to hit? Yeah, you're going to win more money, but when's that going to happen? What's the most you've ever?
I saw a guy win $850 playing nickels at a little gas station, mini casino. They have those gas stations all around Las
Right.
Vegas. And funny story. His sister had lost her husband, and she couldn't make her house note, so he gave up his house note and paid hers. And it was $850. And so I was right next to this guy. So when he hit the 850. He goes, he told me the story. He goes, that's what I needed to pay my mortgage. You know, I thought that was
Karma.
Yeah, he paid hers and he got paid back. So that's why I looked at it as a good story. Yeah.
Yeah, karma.
Yeah.
That's what Gypsy would say. That's karma. Yeah. How much? What's the most you ever won? I mean, it's up to you. You want to say it was below taxes? It's up to you.
Definitely below taxes. I was a small time guy, so I would $400 or $500. 750 is the most I won. And it playing a machine, and it was some of those old games. I forget the name of the game, but I was betting quarters. I progressed from pennies to nickels to dimes to quarters, and I started. I got the rhythm of the machine, and I got it up to 750. And that was one of the times I did walk away. And so I had $20. I walked in with $20. I got up to 750. Hit max bet on quarters. Imagine that. And so it was like $20 to spend. I started hitting, and then what happened between the 750 I won, I could have punched out right then. Walked away, been a big winner that night. And between that and when I hit the last spin, when there was nothing left, I don't even remember. It was like a blackout. I don't know what happened between that and the end, but I do remember the end. Unfortunately, when the reality of that situation grows in, it's a pretty ugly one. So, in reality, though, I only lost $20.
Yeah,
Think about it.
exactly. But I look at that, but the idea that you were up and the
Yeah.
more and more you do that,
Yep.
eventually one day, hopefully, you'll say, you know what, screw this, I'm quitting. But then you look like I did one time. I looked back at the crap table. I was walking away. I kept looking at it. I'm walking away a winner, but I bet I can make more money.
Right.
It's hard, but once you learn to do that, it's fantastic because I said, you know what, I don't care. I'll just walk away.
Yeah, because you never know what the you're supposed to be blessed with that day. You're supposed to be blessed with 600 or is it 1,200?
Right.
You can't. You don't know really. So if you keep pushing, maybe you'll get luckier, right?
Exactly.
It's that belief that's out of the hook. You know, I call it the hook.
The hook. Hey, Aaron, how much time we got? 1 minute.
Okay.
Let me show you this real quick. Let me see if you could hear. There's patterns. So you got 1, 2 is 3. Then you got 2, 3 is 5. And then so you go here, here,
I see it,
here. Now you go 4, 9 it's over here again. 9. And then you go 7, 8. That's a 15. It's over here. I can show you this. It's crazy. I go all the way to the end, and then it starts using this all the way up, going by 3, and then the next one's 1, 2, 3. It's that number, and then 1, 2, 3. It's that number. It's crazy. The stuff, the things that you see on this, it's crazy. Okay, you have 21 and 19, right? Which is 40. There is no 40. So what's half of 40? 20. There's the 20. So what you do is you go all the way down, and then once you hear there's no more numbers, you got to start using this. But then every time you count these numbers, there's the number. Let me see, 22, what is that? 22, 44, 45, 46? What's half of 46? There it is, half, right next to it. Right next to the two numbers you were counting, there's half of it. And you can keep doing that all the way. There's some stuff that I went over on this. I spent hours and days and probably a couple of years.
That's how. If I were to bet numbers, I'd probably do it that way. That's like a system. I mean, like an artwork, if you will. Betting the patterns, like patterns is what I bet.
Patterns.
So, yeah.
Okay, I want to say goodbye here. Cliff, you want to say goodbye?
Hey, see you guys later. See you next time, I guess, whatever.
Yeah, okay, we're going to say bye now from here, Las Vegas. Full Tilt Vegas. I want you to get my book on Amazon. Google it. You can get it on your phone. You'll have it tonight.